Hello, everybody, and welcome back to PoducateMe, the ESL podcast. It's great to see everybody again. Today, we have a really special guest and a really interesting topic that we're going to talk about.
Yes, so everybody, please give a very, very warm welcome to Roxy. Yay!
Hi,
Hi,
Roxy.
Roxy.
Hey, thank you so much for having me. I'm super
My God,
excited.
thank you so much for coming. We've been planning it for forever.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we're finally doing it. And a little bio and intro, of course, for our dear guest. So, Roxy, I cannot say that, like, oh, we go way back as we
Hmm.
usually do it with our friend. Roxy is a pretty recent friend of mine, but Roxy is my Ukrainian sister from another mister, as they
Yay.
say. And we met in 2022, actually in New York,
Oh, not that long
through,
ago.
yeah, not that long ago, through a common friend of ours. But we just we clicked
Yeah.
immediately. There were some jokes that we clicked over, but I cannot say them on the podcast because they are pretty inappropriate. Maybe I'll tell you off
The
camera.
best foundation of friendships.
Exactly. And then I guess like this is where our friendship started. And then since then we've become very close. Um,
hmm
Spent a beautiful weekend together in Rome. And
Oh,
I guess
Which was
that
crazy too. A lot of jokes we can't talk about.
exactly, and some crazy stories that happened to us in Rome. And yeah, we got so close that I actually had an honor to be Roxy's witness at a Roxy's wedding. Roxy recently
yay!
got married.
Congratulations.
Congratulations. And yeah, this is like our friendship. And nowadays we are spending a lot of time together that we're very happy about. And right now, Roxy's pursuing her master's in architecture at a Waterloo University. So good luck with that. I know that the
Ugh.
study's hard, but you can do
Luck is
it.
what I need.
Exactly. But I mean, everything else you already have, like your brilliant
Brains.
mind. Yes. But today Roxy's here to talk about something very, very, very important. And I guess that before we announce the actual topic of our conversation, I guess that we can dive right in the questions because we are going to be talking, guys, about environment and about how we can save the planet and make our lives and the lives of future generations better because we are going to be talking about living a low waste life. So,
Yay.
Roxy, without further ado, let us dive in the questions. And Hannah, do you want to ask the first question?
I do. So I wanted to ask you first of all, and this is something that I have been curious about. What is actually wrong with, like, what is the actual issue with plastic to our environment?
hmm Well, yeah, thank you so much for such an amazing intro. And yeah, the topic we will be talking about today, the low waste life, is actually very important to me myself as well. And there's a lot of like weird unknownness around it. So yeah, I would love this conversation to be about maybe detangling a little bit of that weird stuff.
Mhm.
So what is actually wrong? So first of all, um, we should all realize that plastic is made out of oil. So, and we all know that oil is kind of toxic, not so good for us. And a lot of the chemicals that are included in plastic are forever chemicals. And this means that they will always remain on our planet for our generations and for all generations to come. So yeah, so basically plastic never goes away, and all plastic ever produced is still with us today on this planet. Like it hasn't gone anywhere.
Mhm.
And you know, um, we kind of already pretty aware that it's poison to us and to our ecosystems.
Yeah, that is I love the expression. I mean, it's daunting, but like forever chemicals, it
Mhm.
does say everything about it. Okay, so why is reducing the use of plastic, like the one that we use on daily basis, why is it so important to reduce it?
hmm yeah, it's a really good question, and it's actually is really important. And I also want to like clarify here, we're talking specifically about single-use plastic or like the disposable culture.
Mhm.
So like maybe it's unfair to say that all plastic is evil, but certainly the single-use one.
Mhm.
So
Single
yeah, so the
plastic, I
reason
love it.
So the
Mhm.
reason it's important is, well, in my opinion, it is, well, because I guess let me just say by start by saying that new plastic is continuously produced every day in like massive amounts. And so it continuously gets into like our rivers, oceans, it poisons like ground. And by continuing to buy plastic, we basically, as consumers, keeping up the demand for it to be continuously produced. So by, you know, quitting it and buying less plastic, we actually tell the market we don't want it. And so markets would inevitably look for a better solution. And actually, fun fact, so on average, an adult consumes approximately a credit card worth of plastic every week.
This
Which
I've
is
heard. I've heard this statistic. It's a very buzzword, like the whole
Oh,
microplastic thing. It's a very buzzwordy
yeah.
yeah,
thing these days. A credit card's worth. That's
That's a
that's
wow.
too much.
lot.
I think it's a
That's
much. Yeah.
yeah.
It's a lot. And so, yeah, I guess because plastic doesn't disintegrate, it doesn't disintegrate at all, right? Or it
No,
takes a
yeah.
long time. Okay,
Mhm.
okay. So then, yeah, like how did this even happen? How did we just become so reliant on plastic packaging?
And sorry, before you answer,
Mhm.
Roxy, I want to say something. The fun fact, I remember the times when I was a kid back in Ukraine, and it was still like a little bit of USSR, we did not have plastic packaging
Mhm.
At all?
at all. Like I grew up like until I was like, I don't remember, like 6 years old or 7 years old. We didn't have plastic bags. We didn't
Really?
have it. Like if you go to the store and you buy like some butter, they will wrap it in parchment paper or like wax paper.
Mm.
So I
Mhm.
do remember the times and we survived without like any plastic packaging. So how did that really happen that we
Yeah.
became so reliant?
Yeah, so this is a really good topic to, I guess, pause on. I also remember childhood when I guess I did have plastic in my childhood in Ukraine, but it was a lot of like paper and cardboard and metal packaging and like glass and like there were places in the city where you can like bring your like glass or cardboard and like they would actually pay you for it. So like this whole
Mhm.
like disposable culture hasn't quite clicked in when I was a kid as well. And now it's quite kind of over the top. So, so I guess what I was going to say is like just think about, for example, how much or what a great variety of different, say, beverages there are. You know,
Mhm.
like in plastic bottles like Coke, Pepsi, like Fanta, Sprite, Gatorade, you name it. So what these companies are actually selling to us is not the drink, but the bottle.
Yeah.
Because bottles made out of oil, and it's like big oil companies who pushing, the production of the stuff. And so in reality, they keep coming up with flavors and colors and limited editions, and all of this is just to basically keep the packaging moving. And so, in other words, basically capitalism or consumerism 101.
I see. I see. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's not even always the demand from the consumer side, right? It is a lot of just the the oil companies and the corporations that are
Mhm.
driving it behind
Yep.
the scenes as well. Wow, that's
Yeah.
really interesting. Ooh.
Yeah.
So then what are some ways that I mean, I've been taught this since I had plastic growing up as a kid, which is yeah, I mean that's what in Canada, it was still a very normalized thing when I was young, but we were always taught, reduce, recycle, all of this stuff. But
Mhm.
what are some actual tangible ways that we can reduce our plastic waste?
Yeah, so I like to think of it as like quitting plastic. And so quitting plastic is it's kind of like quitting anything, like it sucks and it's like you're not gonna get there from like the first try and you might, have to like give up certain things you really used to. Um, and it's also like not your fault that you're so like that we're so reliant on plastic. Like unfortunately the system, like we were just saying, is designed in this way. So
Yeah.
by quitting plastic, we're sort of like trying to find ways to play outside of the system, which is what makes it so sort of like more effort.
Mhm.
So I was gonna start by introducing some ideas of like how like easy ways how we can start
Yeah.
reducing our plastic.
Mhm.
Have you guys ever heard of this 3R rule? Do you
I
know what that
definitely have heard because we've been friends for a while.
is?
Is this what I was just saying? Like, because as
Yep,
kids we were taught reduce, reuse, recycle. Is that the th are those
correct.
the three R's? Okay.
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I still remember.
Yay. Great. So it's great. It's actually so promising because people really care about this. And yeah, it makes my heart full. I really appreciate it. So let's talk about the three R's. So it's like you said, reuse, reduce, recycle. So reuse, in my opinion, is probably the most impactful. It basically challenges this whole culture of single use. Um, and I always like to say that the most sustainable item is the item we already have, or no item at all.
Hmm.
So this is where we can kind of like, yeah, rely on what we already have instead of going buying like new stuff. Reduce is also really good. Basically speaks to our like this unconscious over consumerism, and it's kind of like a good place to sort of consider how much is too much when we think about reduce.
Mm-hmm.
And then recycle, I would say, is uh, should probably be assumed as like the last resort, if nothing else, helped. But we can come back to recycling maybe in this conversation deeper.
I actually wanted to say something about recycling, something that I heard from you. Again, guys, we're going off the record, okay? Because these things were told, Roxy told me these things like in a private conversations, but at some point, Roxy told me that it's a big thing. She told me that recycling is a scam. And I would really want you to, let's not call it a scam for the sake of this episode. Let's just like uh, talk about like the problem. Is there any problem with the
Mhm.
recycling?
Yeah, let's talk about that. I also wanted to quickly mention about this 3R rule.
Hmm.
I actually like to throw a couple more R's in there just because
Oh,
it makes a lot of sense. So I would add like repair, repurpose,
Yeah.
refill, refuse, and the most impactful for me is like rethink. And I can basically give you an example. So, like sometimes reducing your waste could be as simple as just thinking about it differently. So, changing your perspective can actually lead to,
hmm.
behavioral change, and then all of a sudden
Great.
you use less waste or create less waste. So, my example would be like, for example, when we go grocery shopping, and we like to put all our veggies into like individual plastic bags. And I
Hmm.
realized that it's actually okay for my veggies if they touch each other. So I don't
Yeah,
need those like little plastic bags. And I
they're
just
not
toss
gonna
them all.
cross-contaminate, right?
No,
That's a good idea. Yeah.
and
Hmm.
then I just toss them in my tote bag with like no like these individual plastic bags. And that's how I put them in my fridge. So I realized it's okay. And that's just like a perspective shift more than like anything else. So I really think that rethinking something can be really productive.
I'm like rethinking as we speak because I didn't even think that was an option. I thought like it was a kind of an unspoken rule for the
Yeah.
cashiers to like have them in different bags, but you don't need to.
Exactly.
Oh
No.
my
Yeah.
gosh. Okay.
And that's the thing. So like very often these things are sort of like come as like social default constructs
As a
that we like
given.
never
Yes.
challenge, but we actually allow it to do that. So we
Yeah.
Oh
can.
my gosh. Okay, that's one
Yeah.
thing that I'm gonna start for sure. Oh my God,
Yay.
that's really great.
I'm so
Awesome.
happy.
Yeah.
Um,
So
okay.
recycling. If we
So
can talk
recycling.
about the problem with the
Yes, I'm
recycling,
curious.
I'm very curious about it
Okay.
too.
So I think I said that recycling is scam. That's maybe like a bit too overly angry, maybe statement. But let me give it some context. So basically, recycling alone can never solve our waste problem. So I think of recycling as sort of like mopping the floor under the sink and the tap is like still running. So like
Oh.
we're fixing the sort of like the symptom of the problem without actually addressing the cause of the problem.
Hmm.
And then also, which was like really kind of mind-blowing for me, is to realize that modern concept of recycling was actually invented as a marketing tool for consumers to like feel less guilty about buying plastic. Yeah.
Oh,
Um,
I
really?
think.
Me.
I
I'm not
mean, like
sure.
recycling as like way of doing something existed for thousands of years, but like this like new era of plastic recycling is totally like a scam, basically.
Yeah.
I,
Uh,
you know, I do
mhm,
get concerned when I do recycle. I mean, I'm very careful with
Hmm.
recycling and the things that I'm recycling.
mhm.
And I I really make sure because I've heard these things before where even if there's a little bit of food
Mm-hmm.
in your entire bag of recycled or your entire bin of recycled things, everything goes into the garbage because
To the
one
Yeah.
thing
landfill.
is,
Yeah.
yeah. And because I've heard these things before, like I'm trying to be very conscious about what I'm recycling and how I'm recycling it and just making
Yeah.
sure everything's clean. But again, like I don't know where it goes, right? Like there are certain places where you need to separate certain things like paper, plastics, cans, whatever. And then there are some places where it's just like dump everything at once.
Hmm.
So it like I don't know, is it something that we should be even bothering with?
Mm-hmm.
I would say that we should absolutely be bothering with recycling
Yeah.
because, like, basically, um, like imagine if like our waste was just like overflowing tap. Like even though we're working on like closing the tap, the spilled water we still have to clean. So like we should, if we're producing recyclable waste, we should definitely recycle it. We should definitely wash those yogurt containers so that
Mm-hmm.
the recycling, the whole like batch doesn't get just shipped over to landfill for because it's like too contaminated this or dangerous. So yeah, absolutely, we should continue recycling. And then also, um, we can make our recycling game a little bit next level. So at home, we have this
Mm-hmm.
thing called extended recycling bin. And it's basically where we put stuff that can be taken to various like specialty like recycling programs drop-offs. So I'm sure you guys and your listeners are already doing a lot of these things, but let's go through some of them. And as soon as you hear something you're already doing, please tap yourself on the shoulder for doing a good job.
Oh,
So number one is our good old donation box. You guys
yes.
doing that? Yes. Good job. So yeah, this is our like reuse R. So we basically putting the stuff somewhere where it can be continued be can continue to be useful. The next one is e-waste. It's our batteries, light bulbs, random
Uh-huh.
cables, like broken electronics.
Yeah.
So those also could be taken to a specialty deposit. Nice.
IKEA batteries.
Yeah,
Very important.
Uh-huh.
Very important.
IKEA. I also sometimes see boxes at Home Depot and Staples for batteries
Mm.
and light bulbs and electronics. Then the next one is expired meds. Did you know
Oh.
that every pharmacy in the city would accept your expired meds for proper disposal?
No?
No.
It's really cool because think of it, like all of your meds are so toxic that if you throw them in the garbage or down the drain, they actually will harm the environment like a lot.
I
Wow.
I didn't even think about that. Oh my gosh.
And this is the
I
Yeah.
first time I'm hearing
Oh my
about
gosh.
this.
Okay, so yeah, I'm guilty of that. If I find
Me
any
either.
expired medic like even just Tylenol, Advil, that
Yeah.
type of thing,
Yeah.
it goes in the
Anything.
garbage. I put the meds in the garbage and I put the con
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
container in the recycling, but
Okay. Well, now you can start taking it
oh
to
my
pharmacies,
gosh.
like any
I didn't know that.
shoppers.
So you
Yeah.
just show up and you be like, hey, can you dispose of it for
Yeah.
me?
Yeah, and they'll
Oh.
already know and they will take it. And it's so crazy because when I learned about it for the first time, I had the exact same reaction like you guys. And now I've been doing it for years. And actually one time I was living in the UK for my exchange and I had some expired meds that I didn't want to bring home with me because they took up
Hmm.
space in my suitcase. So I took them to the UK pharmacy and I was like, "Hey, like where I come from, we can take stuff to pharmacy, like, would you take my expired meds?" And they're like, "Of course, like this is like a global universal thing." And I was like,
Wow.
"What?"
That is
Nice.
crazy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's really
Why isn't this information widespread? I
I
don't
don't
know
know.
why this is the first time
How
I'm
did
hearing
you
about
learn
this.
about it?
so I learned about it because I'm a member of some like Facebook or zero waste Facebook groups.
Hmm.
And like because just by seeing it in like in my feeds, like I often see like
Oh,
people ask
okay.
like the most
Some new
randomest questions.
information.
And then
Hmm.
somebody asked like, what do I do with my expired meds? And I was like, wait, what do I do with my expired meds?
Yeah.
So like a lot of people answered and they're like, there were links to like shoppers where they talk through
Hmm.
like the program. Yeah,
Awesome.
it's really cool.
See, already new things
Oh
learned.
my gosh.
Great. What is there on the list? Maybe there is
So,
something gonna be something else, like eye-opening.
well, I will, the rest of the stuff, I'll kind of like just put it all under like one big umbrella. So, like, your cosmetics packaging. There are drop-offs for those at some like locations.
What?
There are drop-offs for dead markers and pens. Like once they're done, you can take them to a special place. Uh, Dental and shaving waste. There are drop-offs for those.
Wow.
And there's so much more. I actually these are the ones that I do, but there's like way more than that. And I would recommend a place to go to look for it's called Terra Cycle. Terra like Earth
Uh-huh.
and Cycle. And it's basically a website. I guess it's yeah, I think it's Canadian. And they basically the guy who started it, his idea was that anything can be recycled. So
Hmm.
through that website, you can find drop-off locations for like,
This is amazing.
textile and all
Wow.
kinds of stuff. So just go
What a,
there and just like you will basically like the website will like guide you. But yeah, you can see where you take all
oh
kinds
my
of things.
gosh.
Yeah.
It's so cool.
That is so exciting. I'm actually feeling very excited about
Yes.
this. I want to go through my medicine cabinet and like check all of my
Yep.
expired stuff.
And go to the shopper with some
Yeah.
bags. Guess what? I'm not leaving with the
Oh,
bags. I'm bringing the bags.
For sure.
that
Yeah.
is really, really interesting.
This is what should be taught at school. Like
Really.
this is what should be taught at schools, like all over the
Yeah, I
world.
feel like the environmental concerns should be like a whole subject for, we should be growing up with it, like,
We
because
do. When I was younger, we did have like a educational program, like
Hmm.
PSAs and things
okay,
that
cool.
about how to like save the earth and save like we had songs for reduce, recycling,
Mm-hmm.
reusing. We
Aw.
had little like animated clips of like brother and sister that were like brushing their teeth in the washroom, and then one of them has the running water and the other one's like, don't like turn off
That's
the
so
faucet if you're
cute.
not using like we did learn about all this stuff, and it's stuff that has stuck with us to
Exactly.
adulthood, but there's other newer things like
Yeah.
updated things that we should always be kind of re-educating ourselves
Hmm.
on, right?
Yeah, but I think like and I want to say like in Canada like this whole like environmental consciousness is like way better than in a lot of other places.
I agree.
Hmm.
Like even like the States like they don't care about things as much and like yeah, it's completely different. So like we are actually very fortunate that we can have these extended recycling bins because there are all these programs in the city and there are people who are doing it and it's
Nice.
amazing.
I
Wonderful.
agree.
I actually wanted to ask you about the whole topic of our conversation. How can we start living a
Mhm.
low waste lifestyle? But most importantly, what's a low waste lifestyle?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, let's get into this. So, basically, and I just want to say that like the most important thing in starting this like low waste life is to basically take it nice and slow and not get overwhelmed so that you
Hmm.
don't give up before you even like start. So because it's like we were already talking for like 20 minutes and this is already like too much information, right?
I
So
love
I'm
it.
And then the other thing, so like I don't know if you guys heard this very buzzword zero waste.
We
So
did.
basically it's a movement among like environmentally conscious people who found ways to completely eliminate all of their waste in their life. Like you can go on YouTube and find these like people like who have like here's all my waste from the last 2 years fits in the mason jar and stuff like that.
Seen those.
Hmm.
Yeah. So and the way I like to think of it is more like low waste because it's more realistic. It's something we can do. So I want to think about low waste life is more like less of a like the big switch kind of moment and more like gradual small adjustments to our
Hmm.
daily habits. Yeah, which I think is a lot more doable.
I
Yeah.
agree. It's something that's more palatable, right? Like if you see
Mhm.
these videos of people who that live zero waste lifestyles, and you do see like this is all the waste that I've fitting in this little jar from the
Mhm.
past 2 years or whatever, you're thinking, okay, well, what's the point of even trying? Because
Yeah,
I could
it's
never do that.
What's the point of even living?
What's yeah, there's no like why start now? But the idea of like just take small steps, things that are comfortable for you, and then gradually, make
Mhm.
changes as you go and see what are things that are actually plausible for you to fit
Hmm.
into your
Yeah.
lifestyle. This is a much more like palatable way of getting people to have
Yeah,
a
and
lower
motivate them.
waste.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
For
can we
sure.
actually talk about those small steps
Yeah.
for
Okay,
first
yes, let's do it.
adjustments?
So, I always like to tell people to like go for like the lowest hanging fruit first. So the first thing I started doing is like bringing my tote bag everywhere I go. Like not
Mm.
only groceries, but it's just in my
Mhm.
purse all the time because I need it like spontaneously. I can't plan for it. And that was basically like the easy way to get rid of like single-use bags. Easy. I think a lot of
Mhm.
people are already doing that. So,
Yeah.
but that's a good first step if you're not there yet, start there. Then I started bringing my water bottle or my coffee mug. A lot of people already doing that, which is awesome. In Canada or specifically in Toronto, like our tap water is one of the most clean tap waters in the world. So if you just
Mhm.
bring your water bottle, you
Yay,
have
go
unlimited
Canada.
water free
Mhm.
all day long. And then what I started doing is like basically eliminating like one by one items from my household that come in packaging or are plastic or have like plastic-like ingredients. So I started with my bathroom because for me it was like the easiest. So, like bamboo toothbrush and then like solid soap over like a soap in like a little pump. Uh, Package-free or DIY toothpaste and deodorant. Like turns out you can make those at home for very cheap uh, and a lot of the
Wow.
ingredients that go into it, some of them you definitely already have, and the others you can buy package-free. You can also, another thing I started doing is like buying my shampoo and shower gel from refillery places. So I bring my own
Mhm.
bottle and I pump it in there, and they just buy it by weight. Super easy. And then like compostable tooth floss, like cotton Q-tips, it's like you're continuously looking at your recycling bin and you see like what's the biggest kind of like
Mhm.
stream of
What's
waste
the
and you
biggest
tackle that
waste?
area.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
Wow. I was wondering if you could share some of the stores with us. Maybe like after the
Hmm.
episode, you can send us some links or maybe
For
even like
sure.
Instagram accounts so we can add them,
Yeah.
yeah, to the
There are
description.
a number of like my heroes in Toronto, like these stores that are doing this stuff. I'll send you a list. But I would highlight as we're talking like Unbox Market, I really like. Bear Market in the Danforth, or no. Oh, actually, Bear Market is now online only. Anyways,
Oh,
I'll
Oh,
give you a list so I'm
yes,
not
sure.
like
Thank you.
I've heard that
stumbling right
there's
now.
even because like the tubes of toothpaste can also be pretty wasteful. There's ones where there's like a powder that
Hmm.
you can just use
Mhm.
instead of buying
Yeah.
tubes of
Yeah.
toothpaste. I
Yeah,
have a friend that does that.
you can basically, it's like whenever you switch from like liquid to solid, you can eliminate packaging like soap or
Yeah.
like or you like powder is kind of solid, like you can put it in the cardboard box.
Yeah, yeah.
Hmm.
So that's great. Or like for example, I was making my own toothpaste for like at least 5 years now from like really basic ingredients. Not all of them are basic, but all of them I can buy package free in bulk. And
Really?
yeah,
Wow.
it's like it's actually much cheaper than buying regular toothpaste.
Oh
But
my
yeah, I can
gosh.
share that as well.
Yes,
Yeah.
with like a recipe for a
Making
homemade toothpaste.
making your own
Yeah.
toothpaste. Wow,
Yeah.
that's so interesting.
And my teeth look fine, look.
Yep.
Yeah.
Beautiful smile.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's like I've like been tweaking my recipe for like many years, so maybe some people won't like it, like, but everyone's allowed to like, keep tweaking and
Of
trying.
Yeah.
course. Yeah.
And then I switched also, so like after bathroom, I switched to my kitchen, which includes like groceries,
Ooh,
cleaning, and the
big
same
area.
approach. So a lot of the stuff you can buy like either like yeah, like for example, cleaning, a lot of it you can buy in some sort of like powder/solid form that you mix
Yeah.
with your own water at home and you eliminate any kind of
Wow.
packaging.
Yeah.
Um, or I also started buying things. I mean, we're already doing that, but like in bulk, like for example, you can buy your rice or like your buckwheat from like
Hmm.
bulk barn, and you can bring your own bag or you can bring your own
Yeah.
jar. You can also buy stuff in deposit jars. Have you guys heard of that? So
Deposit jars? No.
so basically, I buy my like yogurts and milk. It comes in like this like beautiful glass bottle that I pay $2 for, and then I bring it back the next time I come back, and they give me my $2 back. And
Oh,
the company
cool.
basically, it's like a circular packaging. So like they sell it to you in packaging, they take it back, and then they clean it and refill it, or recycle and
Mm,
refill. But I think they just clean
Amazing.
wonderful.
it.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
amazing. Okay, I would like to hear the place where you do this as well.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
will share. I will share some links with you guys.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like, I guess the key here is to like this is so much. Like for me, it was too much for sure. At once,
Yeah.
I started like Googling and finding all this stuff, and I was like, oh my God, like I will never get through it. So what I did for myself is like I basically decided to do like one swap a month and just get
Nice.
comfortable with it, like get in the groove, and then
Yeah.
try something else. And sometimes I remember being like so excited to like run out of my like, plastic package stuff so I can like start using my like new zero waste stuff that I found.
Yeah.
Cool.
That was really
Wow.
fun.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Can you share maybe some pro tips?
Oh yeah, let's get into pro tips. So um, maybe I already mentioned this, but maybe I'll reiterate. Facebook groups for
Yeah.
zero waste, a great
Hmm.
resource. Like you can literally, yeah, go there, ask questions, or just have like be in the loop by having it in your feeds. So I definitely recommend that. There are also zero waste groups on Facebook for like giving away stuff.
Oh,
And
okay.
because very often, like you have something that's you can't sort of donate, or it's like, uh, like for example, I got it as a gift, like I don't know, a shampoo that it didn't really work for me, but like I couldn't donate it, like I didn't know what to do with it. So you can just post it on there, and you'd be surprised
Yeah.
what
Yeah.
people would take.
Like Marketplace, Carrot, like those reselling sort
Yeah,
of
yeah, those
And
can
websites.
even
be.
like just like giving away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a
Yeah,
lot
like
of people.
you
Hmm.
can use Facebook Marketplace or Carrot or like those websites to like sell, but also give away. But then there are also like just dedicated Facebook groups for just giving away, which is really cool.
Hmm. Yeah.
And then I wanted to say shop secondhand first before
Yeah.
buying new.
Yeah.
And if you are buying new, I would say shop like high quality stuff that's basically as if you were buying for life. Because even if
Yeah.
you're not planning to use it for life, at least the quality will be with the value will be in the product and you can like sell it when you're done with
Hmm.
it. As opposed to buying, like stuff that will disintegrate in like 2 months.
Yeah.
And then for your beautiful skincare routines and makeup, look for brands that sell stuff that's package free or places that actually take their packaging back. Like
Hmm.
Yeah.
Lush has a lot of what they call naked products,
Yeah.
which means like no
Oh,
packaging. Or like The Ordinary. I really
The
like, I'm
ordinary.
sure you know it. It's
they
Canadian. It's great. They take their packaging back.
they
Yes, they
do.
do.
You
Oh my
can
Yeah.
bring it
gosh,
back.
another reason to love The
Yeah.
Ordinary.
Yeah, and then I guess
Wow.
finally is like maybe this is not very pro tip, but it's definitely a tip to just Google stuff. Like there's so much
Yeah.
like information and really cool like bloggers and YouTubers that you can follow to like learn a bunch more.
That's amazing. That's
Wow.
so much great information. I
Yeah.
mean,
And motivational,
it's very
actually.
motivational
Yeah.
and it seems possible to do.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Like I did, to be honest, I do have little steps that I try to take to be a little bit more environmentally conscious, but it's more things
Hmm.
like, like I don't want to throw out my I don't want to accumulate enough garbage to throw out multiple times a week. Like I would
Yeah.
like to throw out one bag of garbage every 2 weeks, and that's like a little personal goal of mine, but I still have a lot
Mhm.
of waste, right?
Hmm.
But these little things that you're mentioning that can remove so much stuff from
So
my
much
regular
stuff.
waste.
Yeah.
And it's so
Exactly.
helpful. And it's just stuff that's not even, it doesn't take too much time out of my day
Yeah.
to do, really. And it's not like a huge sacrifice on my part. So, I mean, like
Hmm.
really, really amazing, good ideas. Thank you so much. I'm so
Yeah.
excited.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Sure.
I'm so excited about this feedback because like the whole point of this is to kind of like prove that this is like doable and easy and actually fun.
Yeah. It
Hmm.
is. It
Yeah.
really way much more than I thought. Yeah.
So there is homework for everyone watching or listening. Guys, take up all of those steps and try to do it like one thing a month.
One
Okay.
thing a
Really
month.
great.
Don't go
Really
Small
great.
crazy. Yeah.
steps, but going toward huge changes and big
Yes.
goals. Yes.
Mhm.
All right, so we have come to the time of our interview where we do something called the quick fire round.
Yay.
And in the quick fire round, we'll ask you 3 questions and just give us like a quick answer, the first thing that comes from the top of your head.
All
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 right,
right.
right,
let's do
ready?
it.
All right, so question number 1, recycling, hero or hype?
Hype, definitely. Like I was
Hype?
saying, it treats the symptom. It doesn't get to the core issue.
We don't want to say the word scam again, but let's say hype.
Call it
Awesome.
hype.
I love it. Okay,
It's a
question
hype.
number 2. Most environmentally friendly packaging.
Okay, most environmentally friendly packaging is no packaging.
No packaging. I love it. But
So
those
yeah,
dispensaries, like the
but
dispensaries that
still,
you're talking about,
if
yeah,
especially.
we
AKA
had
package
to,
free. Yeah.
if we had to package something like absolutely necessary, what would that be?
Like the next best material, I would say
Yes.
would be like cardboard or
Okay.
metal of some kind,
It dis
aluminum or
it
tin.
disintegrates quickly, right?
Uh-huh.
Cardboard would
Or you
Yeah.
can
paper.
recycle it.
Yeah.
Okay, awesome.
All right, last quick fire round question. Reusable bag or reusable bottle?
Well, I can't choose. I think it's both. It cannot be one or
Sophie's
the
choice.
other.
It
I
has
think
to be
if
both.
I think if I was to only able to carry one with me, I would say the bag, because then I would buy my water in like aluminum can. Because aluminum is
Right.
actually really highly recyclable, like a
True.
coconut water or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Unlike plastic. And with metal, it actually doesn't downcycle, which means it doesn't lose its quality. It actually stays the same quality when
That's
recycled.
very true.
Nice.
And you can use water fountains
Exactly.
and
Yeah.
you
Yes.
have nothing.
If you're very thirsty. Amazing. Roxy, thank you so much once again for this opportunity to interview you and most importantly, to learn this stuff. And I'm very grateful to have you so very close in my life that every time
Yay.
we see each other, I'm like, oh my God, all the plastic has to go. Roxy's coming to my place. You do motivate me, and I love learning new stuff about recycling from you. So thank you so much.
Of
Yeah.
course. Thank you so much. This was an amazing conversation, and there's a lot of topics we didn't get
Yeah.
to do with this. So maybe we should do a follow-up.
I
Oh,
would love to do
definitely.
a follow. Like
Yes.
we should do like few months, 5 months later
Yeah.
and see where we're at or what changes we've done. I feel like that's a really good idea. We
Yeah.
could talk
Yeah.
about like where we're at because
Definitely.
I'm definitely gonna like make some changes for sure. Like
I'm so excited.
and
Thank
I'm really
you.
excited to get those like contact and the links and things so that I can do my
Mhm.
own research and see what's like what fits into my
Yeah.
lifestyle and what are the things that
Yeah,
I can do.
And we guys should meet off camera. So
Yes,
then like
for
we can talk more
sure.
about
let's
it
do
and
it.
have
Let's
some
do it.
fun. Yeah.
All right. So, for those of you out there who's also interested in starting this journey with us,
Uh-huh.
please drop us a line at eslpoducateme@gmail.com. Let us know what you thought. If you guys have any tips or resources that you would like to share, or visit us on Instagram at PoducateMe.
Yeah. And we will see you guys in a couple of seconds in our Language Lab episode. Thank you, everyone. And thank you, Roxy. Bye.
Bye.
Stay tuned. We have the Language Lab coming up next. Welcome back to Language Lab, where we take the language from our conversations and sort it into little vocabulary recycling bins.
I love it. And this week we interviewed Roxy, who is a passionate advocate for a low waste lifestyle, which means we talked about sustainability, trash, habits, and the emotional journey of realizing you own 47 reusable tote bags.
Yes, better than plastic. Today, we are dissecting the words and expressions we used so you can sound fluent and environmentally conscious. Two birds, one bamboo stone.
Yeah. And the first word on our list is the word collect, meaning when you meet someone new, you can say, this is what I actually said on the episode that, like, when Roxy and I met, we immediately clicked. So it means to immediately connect or get along with someone. When you and another person, you find out that you are passionate about the same things or you have the same interests, and you're like, oh my God, where have you been all my life? So
Yes.
that's clicking.
Friendship chemistry.
Yeah.
Detangling. Detangling, if you think about your hair,
Mhm.
especially long hair like ours, it gets tangled, is what we call it. And you can use a brush or some spray to detangle it, which means you're unraveling, you're sorting out, you're making everything kind of straight again. And we use this for anything that's tangled or
Yeah.
complicated. You detangle. So you can, detangle, oh my gosh, earphones.
Earphones.
Bigot like wires, cords, you can detangle all of those things. Detangling your habits from
Mhm.
like the convenience culture, which takes time. All of that stuff is usable.
The next word is the word daunting. Ooh. And daunting means something that feels scary or overwhelming, like starting a low waste lifestyle can feel daunting at first.
Yes. Disposable. Great word. Disposable means something that you use once and then is thrown away. It's a word that when I say great, I mean like it's a great word to know.
Yes.
Um, it's something that you use once and then you throw it in the garbage, right? So this is a very common thing that we use. So you can say disposable cutlery, so disposable spoons, disposable forks, disposable packaging, all of that stuff.
Good. And to introduce the next word, I would like to quote a very famous villain from the Marvel universe. And I want to say, I am inevitable.
Ooh, okay. I was wondering what the quote would be, but that's a memorable
Yep.
quote.
So the word inevitably means unavoidably. It means that something will happen no matter what. And if anything, I was quoting Thanos from Avengers. So if you buy berries, they will inevitably go bad in a couple of days.
It's inevitable.
Because you most likely won't eat them.
Yeah, you gotta eat them right away.
Yeah.
Yeah. Disintegrate. To disintegrate is when you have something that's whole and they break down into small, tiny, tiny pieces or dissolve, meaning completely disappear. So some materials disintegrate naturally over time, like cardboard. Plastic does not. It sticks around for a very long time. I don't know if you've ever heard this sort of old wives' tale that if you swallow gum,
Oh, yes.
it takes 7 years for it to digest or disintegrate in your body. Yeah.
True. And the next one is something that you guys probably heard a lot on social media or, I don't know, at school if you're learning economics or marketing. And this is the word combination consumer demand. And consumer demand is basically what customers want and are willing to buy. Like companies respond to consumer demand for eco-friendly products.
Yes.
Go, those companies, go.
And so, of course, the more that we demand these things, the more the company will listen and make those changes. Yes. Tangible. Tangible means, if you think about it, like think about that it's similar to touchable, right? Something that's real, physical, something you can touch. So, for example, climate change, when you think about climate change or waste, the waste problem, it sometimes seems just like a idealistic sort of idea, just an idea that's not real. However, it becomes tangible when you really see it in your everyday life and you see those overflowing trash bins and the smell of the garbage everywhere, right?
Yeah. The next word is the word impactful. We used it a lot in our episode. And impactful means having a strong effect or influence. Like small changes can be surprisingly effective. So don't disregard them.
Yes. It was, in general, the episode was
Yes.
impactful for me too, personally, really. Sustainable. And again, this is a really great word to know. When something is sustainable, it's something that's you're able to continue use without harming the environment long term, right? So, sustainable living, it means that you're thinking beyond today. It's just kind of like, future friendly habits.
Now I want all the millennials to come closer to whatever gadgets they're listening or watching us on and sing along with me. Cut my life into pieces. This is my last resort.
Oh, God.
I don't know why I got all these words. So, if you were ever wondering, if you're not an English speaker, what the phrase last resort means. So, last resort is the final option when nothing else works. It's like buying something new should be a last resort.
That's right.
But don't cut your life into pieces,
No,
please.
that is the last
Exactly.
resort. Scam. A scam. Recycling is a scam, is what we were talking about. But a scam is it's kind of a dishonest plan or a dishonest trick that usually people do to take advantage or usually take money from people. You can think about like scam phone calls, like people try to call you to get your credit card
Mhm.
information.
Or
You got to be
scam
careful of those.
emails and
Exactly.
whatever.
Marketing scams where there's a
Hmm.
lot of like some not so great companies out there that are just trying to like take your money. We call them scams.
Hmm. The next word is the word contaminate, and it's a good word. I mean, the process is bad, but it's good to know this word. To contaminate means to make something dirty or unsafe by adding usually some harmful substances. Like food waste can contaminate recycling if sorted incorrectly.
Yes. And it can be very dangerous if your water, the water in
Yes.
your house, is contaminated with certain
Hmm.
materials or minerals. Social construct, or a construct in general, is what we're talking about. This word construct, it's an idea that's
Hmm.
created by society. So it's not something that's biological or made from nature. It's something that we kind of created as social beings.
Built
Build, yeah,
it.
construct.
Yeah.
Exactly. If you think about construction,
Hmm.
it's something that is built, something that is grown, something that is created. So, for example, this idea that everything must be brand new and
Hmm.
shiny and whatever, it's a social construct.
Yeah, true. The next word is the word landfill. And landfill is a place where trash is buried. So landfills are basically the planet's unwanted storage units.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
unfortunately.
yeah. PSA, public service announcement. I guess because cable TV isn't very common these days, you don't see
Mhm.
these often anymore. But back in the day, when we had, just regular cable TV, there used to be, between commercials, there used to be something called public service announcements.
Mhm.
And what these are they're generally government funded. So it's the government that's trying to send a message to people, and it is usually about some kind of issue. So it's a message, it's a fun, usually a fun, interesting kind of a commercial that informs the public about an issue. So like we had a lot of PSAs about recycling, about don't drink and drive was a
Mhm.
huge PSA campaign that we had when we were kids. We had like little, I don't know if you have ever heard of the More You Know rainbow.
No,
Okay, this is something that we've all grown up with when
tell
we
us.
were kids. It was like a little PSA public service announcement that we would watch on TV, and it was like, did you know that um, you know, recycling, they would give you some sort of shocking, interesting fact, and then
Mhm.
at the
That you
end,
can recycle your meds,
yeah,
for example.
exactly. And then there at the end there would be a little like shooting star, like rainbow, and it would go ding ding ding. The more you know. And so this is like a
I
part of
love it.
it's part of our common
Uh-huh.
vernacular as millennials.
Hmm.
It's kind of if you have conversations with millennials who grew up in this time period in
Hmm.
Canada, and you say ding ding ding, the more you know. Everybody knows what the reference is too.
Ooh, that is beautiful. The next word is the word palatable. I love this word. It just like rolls off your tongue. Beautiful. So, palatable is something acceptable or easy to tolerate, often about food or ideas. And I wonder if it has something to do with like the palate.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe. So, something like veggies, but for lifestyle changes.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Plausible. Plausible means something is believable or realistic, like
Hmm.
acceptable. Like I
Acceptable.
understand and I accept this information. It's plausible to, for example, reduce waste without being perfect,
Hmm.
right? You don't need to have completely zero waste to make a contribution to
Yeah.
your environment.
Low hanging fruit. It's the easiest thing to do first. So if you think about a tree with a lot of apples, of course, if you want to grab an apple, you will grab the one that is like closer to you. So, and it's easier to do that. So this expression represents something that is easy to do at the very beginning.
Yep. Compostable, or uh, another relative word is compost, and it's things that you can break down naturally to
Hmm.
make into soil. So compost, like a compost bin, is something that we use. We put our food waste or other waste in it, and it will naturally break down this food and turn it into fertilizer or soil.
Hmm.
So when something is compostable, it means that you're able to break it down, right? So
Hmm.
food is all compostable, like
Compostable.
eggshells, for example, a lot of plants, all of these things.
Organics. Mhm.
Organics. Yeah.
Swap. And to swap means to exchange one thing for another. Like you can swap paper towels for usable cloths, or if you're a kid or maybe an adult, you can swap the Pokemon cards
Oh,
with
yeah.
your friends.
A lot of swapping there.
Mm-hmm.
To reiterate. Again, we have this prefix re, which we all know means again. So to reiterate, it means to say something again. Sometimes when we say something again, I mean, what are the reasons why we repeat ourselves? It's we want to emphasize something or we want to clarify or make something kind of more important that
Mm-hmm.
we're saying. So we reiterate, meaning we're repeating something. Uh, so, for example, let me reiterate recycling, reducing, reusing is all very important for our environment.
Oh, loved it. And the next word is the word accumulate. And accumulate means to collect or build up over time, like plastic waste. It accumulates quickly everywhere in our houses, in the landfills, on our planet.
Yes. And lastly, we have the word dispensary. And a dispensary is a place like a store. And it's a place where, certain products are distributed. So, more commonly, this is used for specialty goods or medicine,
Mhm.
right? So, refill shops, we have like eco dispensaries for soap and shampoo, which is what Roxy was talking about.
Mhm. Awesome. And that's today's language lab. And remember that low waste living isn't about being a zero trash superhero.
Nope. It is about making small, impactful choices that accumulate over time.
Yeah.
So don't forget to keep listening, keep learning, and
Educate
educate yourself.
yourself.